you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing. It's still black again. I see you, but it's all right. So the question I want to ask,
Mhm.
um, you had stated that those who look like us, that are not us, the hidden hand, they possibly came from two places. One of you said is outer space. Can you elaborate on that for me if you have any more information on that?
Well, it's deductive reasoning. If they're not from Earth, then there's two places they could come from: a
Mm-hmm.
laboratory or space. That's what I was talking about earlier. And the reason I was saying that is because in the Bible, Yahweh is telling the so-called Israelites that He's going to give them something called a promised land. All of the land is divided up among the 12 daughters of Isis, which
Mm-hmm.
made up the original 12 earth tribes.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever they from, laboratory or outer space, I'm indifferent to. I'm only concerned with the reality that they don't belong here, right? And I was using that to express that if they don't belong here, right, why the hell they here?
Right.
So
Okay.
we got to get rid of them. So that's the context that I was using those 2 points of reference. To add to that, where the outer space theology comes from, traces back to the Anunnaki and the Sumerian tablets and what they call the divine right of kings.
Okay.
Okay, so the divine right of kings say that you cannot rule in the Anunnaki kingdom unless you have Anunnaki blood. So this is the pretext by which they claim extraterrestrial involvement in the development of human affairs.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Did did I answer? Did I answer?
You gave me more information. And again, forgive me if my comprehension at the moment is kind of like I'm trying to figure out, is it the physical side of things or is it the spiritual side of things? Because we're physical vessels, but we are much more than that. And I'm trying to figure out which, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
So from the physical side, we just discussed. In order
Mm-hmm.
to discuss it spiritually, we now change all of those nouns into energies.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I
And,
want to get into. I think
and we
where I'm going.
read it as a signature of energy, which will deliver more information to the subconscious than if you only read it as the nouns.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
got to remember everything has a numerical value. Now we're
Mm-hmm.
talking gematria numerology.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has a color code. We're talking color psychology,
Okay.
right? Everything has a frequency. Now we talking electromagnetism
Mm-hmm.
and a vibration. Now we talking frequency again,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when you look at and you use all of these different uh, tools to translate the 3D reality to see what the spiritual world is telling you in the physical world.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes, sir.
you use it as mirrors to each other. So on the physical side, you got the person, place, or thing. On the
Mm-hmm.
spiritual side, you got the number, you got the frequency, and you have the vibration. Then the
Mm-hmm.
law of hermetics say know that all things are vibrations. Each
Mm-hmm.
is an extension of itself, right? Also
Mm-hmm.
in the hermetic philosophy, it says there is a law called the law of polarity. That's 2 points by which a frequency oscillates, right? In physics, there's something called the law of entropy, which if there is a thing that is sending out a frequency, it dissipates as it loses energy. It's called entropy.
Okay.
In music, the sound, as it gets further away from the source, begins to go silent because of entropy, which in sound is dissipation.
Space. Okay.
Right. So my
Okay.
flux flow capacity is nothing short of mastery. That's why these rotten bastards be endlessly after me, hoping tragedy capture me or eating off to destiny. But the rest of these baby G's are hoping I awaken these other seeds.
That's right. I know that's right. Thank you so much, Uncle. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Did I answer you good enough? Was you able to put
Yes, sir.
your perspective to what you was asking? Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. All right, sweetie. And we'll take another caller.
All right. Thanks. Love you.
Okay. Love you too, sweetie. Go. What's up, G?
What's up, man?
You got it.
You good, man? Yep. Hey, yeah, I had a question for you, man. With all these people jumping over the border, you know what I'm saying? They are military age. You know, only thing they need is a green card and be able to speak English, and they can join the military. Do you think our people, you know, the young guys need to be in the military? Just, you know, so, because like in 5 years, these foreigners, they're high rank,
Look,
and they'll be the ones in
in
charge.
5 years, look, in 5 years, this is going to be an entirely different looking
Right,
land.
right,
Let me tell you this. Pay attention. When we get done taking our shit back, we're going to all be rich. My
right,
question is, who going to work?
right, right.
What we going to do about the labor pool? Right?
Yep, yep,
So I'm not too much concerned with them people crossing the border because Big Mama here and nature's going to call people from all parts of the world to this land.
right,
So it doesn't surprise me and it don't faze me because if I look at it from the worst case scenario, they just gonna be feeding them motherfuckers to the Bloods, the Crips, the Vice Lords, the GDs. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Because
They
and
ain't got no.
we so we ain't really worried about
Right,
that.
right, right,
That's the scare tactics used by the political establishment to make us think that the motherfucking enemy is at the door when all the time the enemy is laid up in Big Mama house watching TV with his feet up in her bedroom like he belonged there.
right, right,
And they telling us the enemy is at the gate. No, he ain't at the gate, motherfucker. He in the house
right.
pretending to be one of us.
For sure, for sure. Yep. Yeah, that was just, you know, a thought, man, because, you know, like I say, we always gonna have warriors in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So,
Look, when they brought the Mongolians over here, they had a similar culture to some of the tribes. And they was using them in negotiations. This is why they was using presidential decree to make Mongolians chiefs. You
right,
can't make a that's not how chiefs is made from the land.
right,
Anyway, when they came to negotiate on behalf of the Dirty Moors, they looked at our culture so similar to ours, and this is when we start saying pale face speak with forked tongue. The establishment make you think that they say that they lying. That's not what it means.
right,
They speak for themselves and they speak for somebody else.
right. They double talking, basically.
Yeah. When they spoke to us after the peace pipe, right? You can't lie to us and smoke the peace pipe. This is why it was part of the tradition, and the custom.
Right.
And when they tell the story, they have to tell us who sent them and what they want. And then they got to find out, well, since you came, what do you want?
Right.
They got two different agendas. The Mongolians, and you will see them now as the $5 Indians that's always talking about us, the ones that look like us,
Right.
right? They are aware, and they supported us against the colonizers who brought them here. And they the ones right now that look like Mongolians, but talking about the nappy-haired, brown-skinned Mississippians that was already here,
Right.
right? And the ones who took sides with the colonizer, you know them because they filthy rich.
Mm-hmm.
They all own casinos,
Yeah.
right? And if you trace back the origin of gambling, you end up in Babylon under the money magic system. The rule to gambling is the house never lose.
Right.
None of the parishioners or none of the customers are allowed to cheat, but that don't apply to the house.
Right. Yeah.
All of the slot machines is coded to tell them how much money to collect before they pay out a dime.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? And they never allowed to pay out more than they took in.
Right.
Right? So the house never loses. This is the Babylonian money magic gambling secret.
Right.
Now, my uncle, Uncle Vern, used to run a gambling house, and there's another way for the house to always win. They call it taking a cut. When the house take a cut, they ensure that neither side will have an unfair advantage at that point. You're going to play according to how the cards fall or how the dice roll.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I get a cut, because at my establishment, I enforce this rule.
Right.
This is why they crush local gamblers like my uncle from doing it, and then they allow big corporations to build casinos and allow them to do it with permission. Right. Remember, a license is the approval to do something that's otherwise illegal.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why do we need a license to drive then?
Right. Shouldn't.
Why do we need a builder's license to build? Shouldn't. Because look, we in a police state.
Right.
And the police is the occupying force, extension arms throughout all of our communities. The headquarters is the military industrial complex that finally gained control under Dwight D. Eisenhower in a forced contract. We don't have to honor the contract for two reasons. One is fraud and two is duress. You forced this man into signing this contract, and it put all of us in peril. Therefore, we don't have to honor it.
Right.
Right. So when you looking at why in the 70s all of the activist groups was robbing banks, but you got to go back to when the settlers came and they generated bank robbers called outlaws. Right. But who banks was these motherfuckers robbing? Because wasn't no central bank back then.
They was stealing from Big Mama.
Yeah. Yep. So the Big Mama banks forced to shut down, and now they can start what they call FDIC insured banks through the central banking system.
Right.
Now Big Mama had to close her vault. We in a warlock. For the people that be wanting to know how the desettling of the banking system to instill a central bank is done. It's a book called The Confessions of an Economic Hitman Who Worked for the International Monetary Fund. Right? This is where you could see how they was trying to destabilize the colony. The reason they got coinage with the Indian lady and the eagle on it, or the chief and the buffalo on it, is because those were tribal coins.
Mm-hmm.
The tribes knew if the money was funny money or if the money was legit money by whose picture was on the money.
Mm-hmm.
Who picture on your money? Not right now.
They got the presidents, the dead presidents on there.
Yeah. And the question is, why put a dead president face on your currency?
Mm-hmm.
The currency is the current that you see.
Right.
If you don't know how the energy moves through the community, you can't successfully trap dollars. Therefore, you can't bank on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And on both sides of the currency or the current that you see is a riverbank.
Mm-hmm.
So you following the flow of the energy and you monitoring it by how the people use the currency. And if you look between two banks in any direction, you're going to find stores most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you leave the bank, you got to get shit.
Got it, yeah. Right.
So I'm going to stop at this store, and this store. Now, they got us really tricked with this thing called ATMs. Because now, half of the stores got a bank in them.
Mm-hmm.
All of the banks to a certain perimeter around the bank is the jurisdictional territory of the banker. Well, we call it bank security.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in the bank and you start raising hell, the manager gonna come out and who he bringing with him? Security.
Right.
Right? And security will bust a cap in your ass about this currency. So whose life is worth fiat?
Mm-hmm.
A dead president.
Yeah. Right.
Why? Because he already dead.
Mm-hmm.
He has no current intrinsic value. So the only way for him to hold value is to put his face where it can continuously be seen and recognized. Now you can use the face to influence the flow of the currency.
Mm-hmm. That's deep.
It's all a psychological manipulatory tactic.
Right.
Right? They got us because remember, we was never the consumer. We was always the producers of the world.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, now we are consumers. What happened?
You took
Central banking,
right. Yep.
the Federal Reserve Act, the Buck Act, right? The Internal Revenue Act, the Social Security Act.
Mm-hmm.
All these is acts, but nobody know what an act is.
Right.
It's a part in the play, a scene. So now they passing acts, which mean they approving a script.
Right.
Right.
Now we the players and
Yeah. And none of us know we playing in the charade.
mm-hmm.
Now check this out. In the game of charades, how is it played?
With the person not
Acting out.
something without saying it. Right.
Right. And then you got to figure out what
What he's actually
the message is by the movement signs that the person playing charades is giving you.
Right.
Right? But they can't say nothing. That's the Fifth Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What are they amending? What is an amendment?
The amendment is when they damn, I can't even think of it. Like,
So if you forget to write something in your term paper at school, your teachers, your professors say you can amend it
right,
by adding 2 more
right,
pages to the end. Just type it on.
right.
Right?
Yep.
So what did they tag it on to?
They tagged it on.
Constitution, right?
Yeah.
And what's the Constitution?
The
The
Constitution.
Constitution of a thing tells us the layout of how a thing is supposed to work.
Right.
An instructional manual. In this case, is for allowing the operational government to operate. If you don't know how you're supposed to operate, how are you going to function?
Right.
Now, how do you keep the average Joe from understanding what the Constitution is?
Do
You
trickery.
you write it in legalese, a
Right.
dead language to match your dead president.
Mm.
And they use in legalese because the commoner is not taught legalese. Because that jurisdictional authority goes to the Barristers Association, which is the barristers of England, which are the royal family members, and their royal rank is called honorables and esquires. And they work for the lords.
Right.
The lords are the ones who govern over the land. In wartime, you under admiralty jurisdiction after an invasion in which you come from the water. In order to overtake the land and to assert the jurisdiction of the admiralty, you have to stake flags throughout the land. Right?
Right.
What do they do at the crime scene? Don't they
They put up.
put numbers on the ground and little cones and right?
Right. Yep.
The salvage expedition. Right? How do we come to that? Because they are using salvage right law in place of the law of the land.
Mm.
By using the salvage rights law, they can implement something called a squatter's right. Right? A squatter is equivalent to a person sitting on the curb so the police know where to come.
Mm.
Right? So while they seizing, right, their booty, they spoil of war was the land that they came to take from the original inhabitants.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the original inhabitants can fight them in bloody war, or we can stave them off until the close of the age. The elders thought it was wiser to fight the Conjure War and stave them off to the close of the age than it would be to continue bloody warfare.
Well, yeah.
Which gives us our George Washington 200-year challenge.
Right.
Right? So, while you got 5 civilized tribes holding the bear, you got 5,000 tribes with eyes on the problem. Who gonna win?
Mm.
Right? It looked as if the legal fiction was winning, but looks can be deceiving.
Right.
Because at any given moment, one of the chiefs is going to exercise the blood and the right to restore the tribes back to their original status prior to the colonization and infiltration. Right? And when that happened, then we win, they lose, they surrender everything they stole, and they can't pay us reparations because they owe us everything.
Right.
Where they gonna get it from? Because once we in power, money has to have substance.
Right.
And once money got substance, then they fiat, it becomes monopoly money.
Right. It's paper. Just paper.
Yep. So you cash in from the game, you gotta go where?
You gotta go past.
To the bank.
Yeah.
And the bank is the window in every casino.
Right.
And that means that every casino is under who jurisdiction? International banks, the central banking system. Everywhere there's a bank is their jurisdictional control to secure with security.
Right.
Right? And for the ones at large that they call the trustees on the plantation, the Negroes with the meritorious manumission, as long as they got their free papers. What's your free papers? Today they call it your driver's license, your identification card, your passport, or your social security card. Right? Them your free papers. Why none of them so-called billionaires need none of that shit?
Right.
How do they travel where they don't need none of it? Private.
Private. Right. Do it state.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's deep, bro. You went all the way in.
You gotta understand how it works in order for it not to work on you.
Right. True that. True that.
Because once you know what the trick is and you know how the magic trick work, you ain't no longer fascinated by it.
Right. It's no longer an illusion. That's real though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just had that little basic question for you, man. You went all the way in, gave us a lot more. I appreciate it. You know, I just wanted to know your opinion on it because it's been up in the talks around town, people talking and concerned about it. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't worried about it.
Yeah.
Either way, they gonna either be food for us or they gonna be allies to us. So either way,
Right.
it don't matter to me.
Right. That's true.
All right, I'm gonna take another call, bro. I appreciate you coming up.
All right, man. I appreciate the talk, man.
For sure.
Yeah, peace.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Rod. 1 second. Let me get it fixed real quick. All right, Rod. What's going on, man?
What's up with you, Chief? What's going on?
Oh, man. You know, just listening to you on this live, man. I'll be listening to you all the time, man. Be getting a lot of knowledge from you.
Sure,
Definitely be putting it down.
What you up? What can I help you with today?
Okay. So what's the phase going on right now, man? Because I know it's been a long, outdrawn battle with this whole process thing. I know y'all working. You know, you got people working on the back side of things. So, like, what can you break down like the phase of like what's happening so we can like, you know what I'm saying, overcome all the bullshit that we've been going through?
Look, we in reconstitution of government. The matriarchy is forming in our face. And that's what it is. As the sisters begin to make their links with each other and know how to allocate the resources to help the most people. Right. Once they get done doing what they had to do, we home free after that. And they working. Tribal mothers from across the land been reaching out, not just to me, because quite a few of us, but eventually it's going to come to the point where we all finally got the right mothers together that has the blood and the right. And a lot of people feelings going to be hurt because they don't all look the same.
Yeah, I know you be talking about that a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I actually did like listen to like an audio of the book Emerald Book of Thoth, something like that, and it mentioned like the other beings that came, and they was like the negative force or whatever.
Yeah, he called them the dark brothers in there.
Yeah, so I was just not listening to that the other day, and I know you said something about that. You been talking about that, so that's nothing new.
Hmm.
So what you think will happen to them people?
Hopefully they be hit with a soul splitter so they can't reconstitute. That's what I hope happens
Soul
to them.
Food.
But I can't tell you because whatever they earn is what they gonna get.
Yeah, from the sound of it, man, I know that they definitely did a lot of damage. You know what I'm saying? Since they been around, and uh, basically it seemed like they've been around for a long time, damn near almost as long as we have. And you know, their only mission has been the same thing that they always been up to. You know.
So I'm gonna give you a reference. This Bobby Hemmett lecture, and the title was called "Spirit Artificial." It's in multiple parts.
Hmm. I heard you talk about that before.
He explained in exactly what you're asking about, and he explained it so clear that once you realize that he's talking about the same thing that Thoth talking about in the Emerald Tablets, which I wrote a long time ago. But when you find
Mm.
out we're talking about the same thing, now you can put pieces together. You can see it clearer.
Yeah, man. That's a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you, Rod. I learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? Just listening to your lives and your Q&As. And when I first seen you come on the scene, man, I seen you were dropping a lot from the very beginning. You was with the young elder. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I seen when you was with Brother Rich Neal, but I think the young elder you started doing stuff with him first, right? A whole body of collective work.
Yeah, we was asked by Malachi. Well, I was asked through my chief to do
Mm,
a Nuwabian open study group so people would see how we show each other stuff. And they wanted me to use somebody that wasn't from the city that had the country accent because they wanted to show the inner city connection
mm-hmm.
to the guy, how we communicate, right? At the same time, we exchanging information and exposing exactly what happened across the land. So that was not my genius. That was the genius of Malachi York in collaboration with Larry Hooper.
Yeah.
So
You did a lot. You did a good job breaking all that stuff down. I don't mean to cut you off, Rod.
mhm,
You did a great job with that.
yeah, and so now um, the information trail is cleaning up the trail of tears, so to speak,
Hmm.
right?
So
Because
that's where we at. That's where we at right now, right?
yeah, we
Just with the whole processing thing, just uh, going back over history. You know what I'm saying? And rewriting the wrong
hmm
that's been done to our people and everything like
yeah,
that, and the people around the world because you know I'm pretty sure it's not just us that had the effect of what I'm saying they damages that been done. So I'm pretty sure it's around the world.
yeah. Like they keep blaming all of the cyber attacks that's supposed to be coming up on China, and China was behind this, that, and the third, right?
Hmm.
But the People's Republic of China, which was the Communist Party, has been overthrown by the Chinese, uh, was it Chinese Republic of the People, which is the matriarchs. With they wrote a
Hmm.
new charter and everything in 2017, right? And most of us, we don't study like that to even have seen that, so we would never notice. This is a global restoration process. This is the culmination of a plan that was um, uh, anti-white supremacist counterfront that was discussed at the Bang Dong Conference. The Bang Dong Conference was stemming from the UNIA, Marcus Garvey, making global connections for us to form what's called a collective confraternity of the earthborn, right? Because only by knowing what they telling us, we can't take their word about Africa. We have to go talk to the people of Africa that love Africa about Africa. We can't talk to the English about Africans. They're not going to tell us the truth. We can't
Mm-hmm.
talk to the French about Africans because they're not going to tell us the truth. We can't talk to the Portuguese, the Dutch, the Spanish about the Africans. We can't even talk to the Arabs about the Africans because none of them is going to tell us the truth. But when we go to talking to the Dinka, the
Mm-hmm.
Dawa, the Afar, the Hadesha, Zulu, they going to tell us what the other people don't want us to know about them.
Right, going straight to the source.
Yeah. And they going to tell us the part of the story they told about us and blame them is not true. But remember, while all of them telling us the truth, they gonna have people that look like us that's gonna fight fiercely to protect the lies. Because Winston Churchill said, "The truth is so valuable, it must be carefully guarded by a ring of lies." I'm here to burn them down.
Mm-hmm.
The ring of
Yes,
lies
sir.
becoming a ring of fire around their ass. And the only thing illuminated in the middle is the third eye truth.
It's about time, Rod.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been so sick of this shit. I mean, it's like, I'm all down for, setting the balance straight, you know what I'm saying? But I know can't do it alone. And it's like with so many people that want to be like, like on the sidelines or want to flip on sides and stuff like that and do some dirty shit because, that's just what they feel like doing out of cowardness, it just kind of makes it frustrating, man. And it's good to see that other people is on the front line, man, and it ain't got, physical or nothing like that. So it's good to know that people got a brain and they know how to, use their brain and do something about anything that, stands in the way.
Yeah. So I'm just following my instructions, doing my position. You know, that's just the way it go. Like I told the sister earlier, it's just family business. It's not personal. We just take family business personal, right?
Yes, sir.
Because we all got to be able to carry our weight in order for the family to be able to stand up as a collective unit, as opposed to warring factions.
Hey, let me ask you something, Rod. For the people that feel like they watching on the sidelines and want to do something to, play their part, what is it some things that, we can do or, we can do that can help out the cause?
Look, the I tell all of the young chiefs, first raise your status in your family by reaching out to family members you know you related to. You never had a conversation with them. You know it's your cousin. You know you live across town, and but you never talk to him. And so you go introduce yourself. Yeah, man, I'm your cousin. I'm your Uncle Gerald's son, right? Whatever the case might be. Yeah, I wanted to reach out because I know we family and we ain't never had the chance to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That conversation connects family, but with the heart link, the love key. And the more you do that, the more your family rank rise, then they send you out to do the same in the community.
Yeah, I feel that, and I believe that's a possibility that could work for some people. Uh, it makes it a lot difficult, man, when you got people in your family that's being indoctrinated and
You
brainwashed, and they
don't
only
care
know
about
what
none
they
of that.
know.
Soon as you start worrying about that, you already lost. Let them be where they at. You don't want to change their man. You just want to connect
Hmm.
in mutual respect. They can believe what they want to believe, just like you can believe what you want to believe. But because you family, you just reaching out with family respect. That's all, and nothing more, nothing less. They're allowed to
Okay.
believe whatever they want to believe if they're adult. It's just that sooner or later they're gonna find out that they got tricked. But it don't have to, when you trying to get to know your family members. If you're going in there trying to preach to them about anything, that they're not gonna be receptive. But if you
Yeah.
just open your arms and they open theirs and y'all hug each other and y'all ain't got to say a word, sit in the room together for 5 minutes. But the whole point being is you just acknowledging the link by family. This is how you,
Okay. So my bad. Go ahead, Rod.
this is how you building them connections, right? You need a car, you got an uncle that's a car dealer, but because he believe in the church and you believe in the mosque, you can't call him and talk to him about a car because y'all got a difference of religious belief. That's foolish to me, right?
Hmm.
But we are quick to take up other people's fight against our own family. That's not my fight. I didn't write none of their doctrines that they believe in, so I'm not responsible for them. If I want to be responsible for me, then I just let them know, look, whenever you need me, if my set of skills can help you, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. So after making those connections with like families or whatever like that, uh, I mean, what's the? I guess it seemed like you just saying like come together and use what each individual is good at to. I guess you have to create some kind of idea first. You know what I'm saying, and use the people around you that what I'm saying is qualified to do certain things to
Yeah,
make it happen.
so at that point, this is when you're ready for your tribe to build this village. But you ain't there yet. You trying to put the cart in front of the horse. You want the end game before the game start, right? It's a process. By building up the family connections, you get to learn who's good at what anyway. So when it do come time for y'all to do like the Autobots and form into a Megabot, you already know what to do, which gonna make you have to automatically be the leader. Whether you want to be or not, your qualifications for the function make you responsible to hold the job according to the ancestors. It say he who knows must lead the way.
Okay, so I'm assuming once all of that is established with people and the people that they around that's like a fraternity or like a family, right? Um, and when it's all said and done, with this whole process of what you got going on with the the mothers and sisters and whatnot and the brothers and all that for the I don't want to say reconstruction, but like the putting everything back to how it once was worldly, right? At one point.
Mm.
Talk about the matriarch, so bringing back the matriarch and all that, and bringing back the restored balance of mankind, humankind. I guess everything within the families already be established already at that point, so it'll probably make like a fast adjustment to the new changes that would come about. Is
It's
that
gonna
the
be
game plan?
everything gonna take place naturally. If you just do the parts you know how to do, you don't worry about the parts that's not in your sight. Somebody else gonna
Uh,
be doing them parts. It's just when it's time for you to bring your part of the pie to the table, you just got to be willing to do it. But you do what you already know is right, and that's going to elevate you to the position where you can know how to use your skills best. Write your own resume. Everything you know how to do, no matter
Mm-hmm.
how small it is, if you can remember it, write it. And when that happens, guess what? You know what you're training for because that's your job description in your life.
Yeah, man, Rod, I really appreciate it, man. It's been an honor speaking with you, man. I've been watching you for some months, man. Like for a while now. You know what I'm saying? More than a month, some months, but you know what I'm saying? I've been watching for for at least a year, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or close to it. So like I say, man, you doing a great job. I know if people take the time out to listen to you and really pay attention to your message, man, it's out there, man, and you definitely got a lot that you put out. And I learn every day. Whenever you drop new stuff or come on live, man, I'm always here, man. I'm
All
tuning
right.
in.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. All right then, brother Rod. Take care
All
now.
right. I'll catch you later. Peace, God. Peace. Like them dreads, boy.
You already see that's what's on the buildings, man. You already know what
Yeah.
time it
There's
is.
that clown talking about show me some poofy hair, and he looking at that in the paint.
Hey, Chief, man, I just want to say this to all the young brothers that's out there, man. They in struggle with this shit. You feel me? They know who they are. My family is from Louisville, Georgia, and on my father's side, rest in peace to my father. He committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the how he did it, when nobody imagined that shit. My old boy, he went in the truck and he put a what you call a generator in and inhaled the gas. He was a military man. You know what I'm saying? But to get this message out, man, and to be clear, man, listen, just like the brother was saying, he's going through it with his family and they indoctrinated. Don't fight that shit, y'all. Cause look, I'm outside of my house. My wife won't even let me listen to nothing like this. I'm on Taj, I'm on everything, right? Man, I be telling, man, I told my job about this shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't hold my shit in, bro. I lost my job behind this shit, dog. So it's been a struggle, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, listen, fellas, man, y'all young men down 22, 3, read them civics books, man. Read everything you can, man. Understand this stuff, man. Listen to OGs like Rob, man, because they ain't doing nothing but telling y'all the truth, man. Y'all gotta have to benefit for yourselves, because how they work, they want your time. And if you get them your time, your ass out of there, bro. I'm 38 now. I'm telling you right now, bro. I'm talented in music. You know what I'm saying? But you try to fight that battle a different way, that way ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Don't battle your wives about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just let them be who they are, man. Just get somewhere you gotta hide. Fuck it, do that shit, man. You got to get through somehow. Do that shit, man. Because it's like they gonna try to keep pushing you to the back, man. And like I say, that time shit is gonna fuck you up, man. So if you young, 22, 17, learn how to do everything you can, man. Benefit your life and listen to brothers like this. You know what I'm saying? Taj, you got Top Cats, you got Dane Calloway, man. Buy they book, support these men. You know what I'm saying? He like Rod, he don't never drop his cash up. You see his shit ain't on there right now. He ain't for that shit. You know what I'm saying? He just want y'all to recognize that shit. My family, they ain't accept the sharecroppers agreement. That's why they had land. You know what I'm saying? On my father's side, they got a damn waterfall on that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
we don't have to keep talking to try to prove this shit to these people, man, and make them understand who we are, man. We already know who we are internally, man. So just keep stepping and living in your righteous self, man. Live in yourself. Be with your energy and don't give your energy to nobody else, man, because that's what they try to do. They try to make you mad and shit like that and angry to the point that you can't even get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? Get your shit together. Listen, I've been gone since November from not working. My wife, she working, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? God has always provided, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers broke in my car after I lost my job. We got a new car still, you know what I'm saying? So I'm living proof of that shit, dog. I've been paying bills. Money been coming out of nowhere, dog. Last week I got 2 checks. Motherfucker said I paid too much on my bills. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta stay up, man. You know what I'm saying? Rod, you know, he keep talking. Taj, he keep talking. You know what I'm saying? All the brothers, you know, top cats, they keep talking. But if y'all ain't gonna do nothing to try to benefit from that shit, try to make yourself be creative. What I mean by saying have these young kids, you know what I'm saying, invest in all that coding and learning how to make video games and shit, all that. Let them do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what's gonna come out of that shit. Let their creativity be so big that they can get out of it. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta read them laws, man. You gotta understand them legalese, man. I've been to prison. I done did that dope shit, man. Y'all young niggas don't do that shit, bro. Let that shit alone, bro. If you gotta get you some money, but just stay the fuck out the way, cause motherfucker next door to you gonna tell on you anyways. I know about the shit, dog. Y'all boys gotta keep yourself together, man. Try to stay on top of this shit, man, cause they gonna try to throw something at you that's gonna try to keep you down, man. Y'all, man. Even you young ladies, you know what I'm saying. Try to get a clear understanding of your dude, you know what I'm saying, and not be fighting and stuff like that, man. Just be good, man, because we all in here, we still here, we ain't going no fucking well. You know what I'm saying? They can't do nothing to us, man. And that's
I told him.
I'm gonna clear the flow right there. And I respect you, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
appreciate it, God.
hey,
Hey, look,
God, that,
any uplifting words to the youth, man, I'm with that.
yeah, man. Listen, man. When I seen that Conjure boy, it was it, boy. Boy, that shit was it. Boy, that shit tough, man. And Rod got one about that egregore. Y'all need to be paying attention to that shit too, man. Cause you got to learn how to make your egregore, man. And that's gonna help your children flourish, man. About that egregore, man. Y'all gotta have like be some stand up dudes, man. You know, my lady. She ain't with it, you know, she in the church, you know what I'm saying? But I deal with it on the ways that I can. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna let her, you know what I'm saying, push me out of my house or make me like, oh, you gotta get out and nah, I'm still be here. I got my key, you know what I'm saying? I got my family, I got my kids, they in there asleep, man. So fellas, you know what I'm saying? Tighten it up. You know what I'm saying? If you, whatever you got to do, let them know, hey, man, this is what I got to listen to because this is my history and these are my people. You know what I'm saying? Don't let your people down. And there's one more funny thing I want to say, too. When we got our new car, guess where it was from, Brad?
Where I'm from.
That bitch came from Tulsa, Oklahoma, dog. Make that shit make sense, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
God be
Black Wall
talking
Street
to me,
not.
dog. God be talking to me, Chief. God be talking to me, man. You know,
Keep
Big Mama be
listening.
out. Yeah, big Mama be out there talking. I just gotta, you know what I'm saying? I just move whatever I got to do. Even if your ass got to walk, man, just go on and get that job or whatever you got to do to make some type of income. Cause it's all about having cash flow, fellas. You gotta have cash flow, man. But I'm gonna clear the room. You know what I'm saying? Let you get somebody else in, G. Just
All
save
right.
it so I go on and record it, and then I can put it on. You know what I'm saying? We can spread this word, man. Cause
For sure. For sure. Share anything
yeah.
you see on my page, brother. Okay. I'll talk to you later. I appreciate you coming up.
All right. One.
One. Yeah.
Thanks,
What's on
Big
your
Man.
mind today?
A lot of things on my mind today, actually, but um, just I'm gonna follow the line of conversation you were talking to everybody about today, and just like what's going on in the land and stuff. And me, I'm a Jamaican Maroon. I was born in a kampong, and we have a lot of stuff that's going on there. Like um, I just wanted to hear your opinion on what's going on the islands. I know you talk a lot about mainland America, but in the islands we got a lot of stuff going on too. I know you know about the Maroons and everything that's going on in our tribe. So my name translates to chief. My name is Nkosi. It translates to chief, master, lord. And so the stuff that's going on behind the scenes in my tribe, it's affecting a lot of stuff that's going on in my life even. So I just like wanted to hear from you about like what you know about the islands, what's going on with the righteous people of the island that come out of these tribes that have to suffer the family curses. Um,
Well, the one that we recently broke that was most important was the Haitian Revolutionary Conjure. The reason it was still open is because when John Dessalines rose after Toussaint and the Bookman was gone, he sent soldiers to fight in the Gullah Wars. So if you go back and look at the time frame of Haitian migration, they went to two directions. The sisters went to New Orleans, and the soldiers went to Florida to fight in the Gullah Wars.
Right, yeah.
And Bookman was a Jamaican, but he was in the island of Haiti with Toussaint, and they opened the country because he was the one who looked the devil in the face and the only human in recorded history to do such and accept his challenge to fight this war. Wherever the benefit that Haiti get, Jamaica get as well. So now that that's closed, the tribes in Haiti are struggling to restore the tribal jurisdiction on the land.
Oh, that's that barbecue stuff, right?
Yeah. Barbecue is the son of Dessalines. He is the descendant that embodied the most of Dessalines' energy. So he becomes responsible because beef is inherited to pick up his grandfather's fight and bring it to the conclusion that it would have been had we not required their aid and assistance in the Gullah Wars. All tribes was called, and all tribes sent people to fight in the Gullah Wars. And this is why they call us Seminoles. The root word is semi, which means half or mix. And it's a Latin word, is Seminoles. They translated or told us the translation mean runaway slave. It don't mean that. Right? And so it was because of the admixture of clans fighting the Gullah Wars that they gave them the name Seminoles, meaning that they mixed up. It's a whole bunch of different kind of people.
Right.
Right. And so Haiti is the pivot point for all of the islands. Because during the same time they was fighting in Haiti, they was fighting in Jamaica.
Right.
Haiti sent assistance to Jamaicans to fight conquistadors in English. A lot of us don't know that, but the Jamaican hierarchy know.
Yeah.
Right.
For real.
They also know that the Cuban Revolution was successful because of the calling forth of the three kings. In the Cuban Revolution, the three kings that they used to break the conjure off the island was Camilo Cienfuegos, Fidel Castro, and Emilio Che Guevara. Because they were successful with the three kings conjure, they was able to overthrow Batista and the mob that was exploiting the people from the island and was not doing anything to benefit any other people. The only reason why poverty exists in Cuba is because from the time Castro and Che Guevara took power, the CIA shot down Camilo plane over the Atlantic. And so they put him under sanctions as communist sympathizer island, right? And so they haven't been allowed to trade with the outside world since the 1950s. This is why all of their cars is from the 1950s. Right. Now, Castro was able to get vehicles through his Russian connections for the political hierarchy, and that's the limousines you've seen them ride. But for the most part, they're not allowed to trade anything on the open market. Then remember, in Grenada, America, CIA sent operatives in to assassinate Maurice Bishop, right? Maurice Bishop was rising up from the people with the people's interests at heart. And because he spoke the way he spoke, he sounded like a Grenadian Malcolm X. America wanted to silence him, and there's CIA reports where they were saying in the background that they didn't want Maurice Bishop to become an influence on us on the mainland. And I think he did a speech at the UN talking about it around that time. And was the straw that broke the bull's back. They say this Negro got to go,
Right. Exactly.
right?
That to us.
So the islands is instrumental because those are people too. They was at war the same time with us. The war got to come to an end,
That's right. That's right.
and it got to have a final, definite conclusion. And this
And
is where we're coming up
you
on.
know what's funny? The right people is rising up from the tribes at the right time, in the right condition and mental state. You know, like I gotta say, you really helped open my eyes at a pivotal time, because I remember I was listening to something you were on live about a year ago. You were talking about Oklahoma, and you mentioned being 5/5 realized versus being 3/5 compromised. And you know, like I said, it's my birthday today. I'm born on the 5/5, and I had to sit down and think that day. It was like, oh wow, this is how, you know, God sent me a message so I could like help me wake up, bringing some piece of information like that to me particularly. That was part of how I was able to see certain things clearer. And you know, I really appreciate that, because some of this stuff is super obvious, but it's not obvious. You know, you have to like
It's
take
there.
your time through the info. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's there. But if somebody pointed out to you, you'd be like, "Oh shit, I seen that. I didn't even know what that was."
That's right. And here I am on another 5/5, and I feel more 5/5 realized. And I'm actually talking to you. How crazy is that? Oh,
That's
that
called a turnaround. And 55 means turnaround.
turn around.
Yeah, 5 means to you changing. 55 means changed, and 555 the change is complete.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a meaningful shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like that shit actually. You know, that's all we could do for each other. Just help each other get to the finish line. You know. So I appreciate you helping me get to the finish line. If I could ask you one more question though,
Mhm.
you talk often about dirty Moors, or you know, the other side. Now, my question is a little specific to my scenario as a indigenous Jamaican, because we live in a tribe that's away from mainland Jamaica. Even you know how it is. So with what's going on in these communities, I understand even in my own community, a lot of the stuff that's going to fall, and I can even see it falling. Um, but are these tribes that are, you know, they survived the colonizer program in a sense, as like they still are a constituted tribe, even though they're corrupt, right? So do these tribes also fall, or do they serve as an example for how the rest of like the mainland populations can begin to organize in the new tribes? Do those tribes fall, or do they be reformed and end up like being an example for what's next?
We had to find a cleanup. So whoever ain't righteous and by heart and by awareness, and you can tell, because wherever peaceful people congregate to discuss solutions to the problem, they come in with the intent to disrupt the discussion with meaningless bicker and chatter.
Right.
They want to challenge everything that don't mean nothing. Right? They pick menial pursuits like afros instead of dreadlocks. Right? We use all of it. We used all of it. We had dreadlocks, we had afros, we had braids, box braids, we had artificial hair. We had all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So for somebody to just latch on because they don't see an afro and assume that the dreadlocks is a braided straight hair, they just a devil.
Right.
They picking up a menial argument that doesn't bear any true weight on the resolution.
Yeah.
They reveal themselves by their own ignorance.
Right. Right. So then, do you think that a righteous person, right, like a righteous man that feels called, do they enter the tribe game to get leadership via the tribe, or do they start something different?
You born into the tribe game.
That's, you know, you telling me.
It's your if it's your blood right to take charge of the family, you're gonna be shuffled around all of the family members for examination.
Mm.
Nature is gonna use the system that's in place to get you to do the thing you need to do in order to fulfill your destiny's purpose. We gonna think we living life. We not gonna notice in our younger years the spiritual implications to the life we live in, and just assume that we live in life and we still gonna be driven by nature using whatever system is current to develop us to the position to take the lead of the family when it's our turn.
God got it. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It's just the thing I think about, but I hear you.
Yeah. So, but it's good things to think about though, because if you're not thinking about that, then you're probably not the one.
That too. That too. And that's the thing. You gotta know the voices to listen to. God didn't bring me Rod Hayes and Taj Tariq Bey content before I could hear it. It got to me when I could hear it. So you're right. It's just happening in nature.
Yeah. So I didn't just come on my first social media platform and have 1,000 people watching. It did never happen like that. What happened was I stayed diligent, revealing information that other people wasn't revealing with receipts. And it got to the point where I could not, my presence couldn't be denied. Who is this motherfucker? Where he come from? And who taught him? They want to know. Because the shit that he's saying with these receipts, this don't hit the same as that other shit we was getting before.
Right.
Right? It's a process. The fact that you becoming aware starts to make you more deliberate in your preparations for whatever your purpose is. You start asking the leadership questions probably because you was intended to be a leader. But because what they've done to our leaders, that's the last thing we want to do.
Right.
I don't want to be the lead. I don't want to lead these niggas nowhere. But what I can do, my cousin Ray used to tell me, if you can't help them, at least you can hip them. I can't help you with the game, but I can show hip you to how it work. And once you know how it work, if they fool you, then it's on you.
Right. Yeah, that's heavy stuff. That's heavy stuff. But you know, we cut from that cloth. So it's crazy how it all unravels. You know, you've forgotten more stuff than I could, hope to grasp at right now. I'm trying to build up to a full understanding, but the way things are just unraveling, it's just, the ones that we lost is what hurts my heart. Because not everybody's gonna make it in this lifetime that we live in. So
Even though it hurt our heart, we got to remember, if we didn't lose the ones we lost, we wouldn't have seen the progress we was making.
yeah.
And we wouldn't have revealed the enemy within.
Yeah, that's
Remember,
point.
COINTELPRO is a government operation. But most of our leaders that was murdered was not murdered by anybody that don't look like us. The only exception is Martin Luther King and Medgar Evers. Clarence 13X, they looked like us. Malcolm X, them niggas looked like us.
For sure.
Noble Drew Ali, them niggas looked like us.
So, that one hits home because that whole Morris science stuff, that's all about. We have that where I'm from, and yeah, all I could say is, in the tribes, family dynamics is real treacherous. So you learn about the enemy close to you real quick.
Yeah, yeah. It's also Fredo in Godfather. He want to be the Godfather, but he's not wired for the job. If you're not wired for the job, you can't carry out the function.
Mm.
He didn't have the intelligence of Mike. He didn't have the fiery drive of Sonny, but he wanted to be the one that his father left it to. He was the least qualified of the brothers. And Sonny got murdered, left nobody but Michael. You see? It's all in the family dynamic. And then what Fredo do? Got tricked into setting his brother up and was too stupid to see the setup.
Man, that's, I could say that I've seen these parallels play out in life, in my life, and the people close to me. It's unbelievable.
I got this channel I watch on YouTube called Culture Mafia about analyzing the Godfather. And then, and when I be watching it, I'd be like, dang, I thought I was the only one paying attention to that shit. But
It
yeah,
is like the mob. You're right. The way this stuff plays out, it is like the mob. We born into it, and we don't know any better. And our heart is actually the different posture than a lot of the people we are around, and they see that before we see it. So we're playing a game of catch up, but we got like the ultimate phone a friend because we got that link to the higher power. So it is a crazy, mob mentality kind of environment that we are born into.
look, the mafia mean the family.
Right.
The family was under a leadership called La Cosa Nostra, right? They originated in Sicily. The strategic acumen of the Sicilian is the hereditary bloodline of Hannibal and his generals. All of the offspring of Hannibal's army in Italy was rounded up and shipped to Sicily. And that's why Sicilians is darker than what they call Neapolitans, mainland Italians.
Mm.
So when you know the history of the world, they can't trick you with the BS. Because now you know what you're looking at. The way that the mafia was set up was based on the Roman legions. All roads lead to Rome. Who in Rome? The Pope.
Right.
Who did the Queen Lizard bitch tell on? The Pope. Who did the board of the International Monetary Fund tell on? The Pope. The board of the World Bank, who they tell on? The Pope. All of the remaining royal families in the smaller, lesser countries of Europe sitting there as so-called kings and queens, they all told on the Pope. And the Earth Alliance got the shit on video. And guess what? The Pope told on the bitch in the basement.
Man, this shit just crazy, honestly. Like, it really puts in perspective just how powerful the Most High is. That all this can be orchestrated and there be a higher power in control. You know, this is, you know, one of the things I will say though is I'm seeing a little bit of a shift. Like for me, I was always trying to pursue an understanding, but now it's kind of like I'm just sitting back and I'm just in awe, just watching, just trying to like, you know, stay in character, stay in alignment. But it's really now at the point where I'm just like I'm just watching in awe, and you know I get to, you know, really be in that space of just gratefulness because obviously we're blessed, obviously we're highly favored. Otherwise, you wouldn't have walked through all this fire and not got burnt.
Oh, we got scorched a little bit though.
Yeah.
we
My football.
got we got scorched a little bit, you know. But here's the thing: we didn't know that when they was doing the stuff they was doing, it was to prevent one of us from saying something. That's not gonna stop me from telling my people who did what.
That's the, you know, that's a good point. It amazes me how many people have a lack of faith. And that Bible verse, it like hits me a bit harder now. It's like one of the quotes attributed to quote unquote Jesus Christ is, you know, and even the circle 7, I read the quotes of Yeshua and it seemed like it was in alignment. It's like one of the things he said was that he was just simply shocked at the lack of faith. And I get that. I'm also looking around amazed at how many people lack faith, despite the obvious, you know, work.
It you know why it don't faze me? Because people have had faith in Jesus for 2,000 years. So they put their faith in something else. It's a waste of time. I've been waiting 2,000 years. Why would I put my faith in the truth?
Uh,
I'm gonna ride this lie out as long as I can, and if it fall through, then I'll put some faith in the truth.
hey, walk by sight, you know. I see it. I see it. But yeah. Listen, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I definitely know a lot of people want to get in and talk to you. So I just appreciate the you know, chopping it up. That's a great birthday present that this worked out. So just appreciate everything you do, and like I'm gonna send you a message. You don't have to, you know, spare too much
Yeah,
time on.
I try to answer all my messages as best I can. Some of them it'd be too much to type, but if it's something I can answer easy, real quick, I'll
Yeah,
answer.
just
Otherwise,
tribe shit.
otherwise you might get a thumbs up.
That's all good. That's all good with me. I know, you know, life.
Yeah.
But some tribe shit, you know, sometimes just, you know, be thinking. That's all.
Yeah. All right, Chief. I appreciate you coming to talk to me.
Appreciate
Chop the game up on your birthright.
it. Appreciate it. Shout out to
So.
you.